Hey Yogi, welcome to class. If you're new here, I'm Rhi, this is Drake, and if you are returning, welcome back. It is sick to practice with you again. Before we jump into class, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do. It just helps Drake and I to grow in this enormous universe. And if you do enjoy the video, don't forget to like the video and leave us a comment and let us know how you got on or what you want to see more of. You're not going to need anything for this practice except yourself and a place to practice. This one's just going to be intended to just get us into our bodies and have a little bit of a feel-good flow. With that being said, if you know you like to practice with props, then grab them and have them near to you. But other than that, let's get set up. So we'll come into Balasana, child's pose, to start the practice. So for this one, take the knees nice and wide, let the big toes touch, and just gently sit back towards the heels. It might actually be nice here for the first few moments to just let your forearms come down to the earth and gently rock forwards and back. Just feeling your way into your hips a little bit here. If this is the first bit of movement that you've done, this might feel a lot. So, this is like a gentle way to ease into ease, I like to think. And you can keep doing this, or maybe if it serves you and it feels nice, you want to come all the way down onto the heels or however that pans out for you, but just sending the butt backwards. Maybe you want to walk the hands a bit further forward and gently let the head come towards your mat. If it doesn't touch your mat, it's just no big deal at all. Just allow yourself a few moments here just to kind of meet yourself where you are. Reacquaint yourself with this space that you hold, this space in the body that you explore, and the person you are because of your practice. Sometimes we need a little bit of a reintroduction to that person, to that yogi. So just allow yourself to be here and reintroduce. Maybe the last time you were here was a few hours ago, yesterday, a few days, a few weeks, a few months. It doesn't matter. Just come back to you. Come back to the person you are when you move through your asana practice. Slowly start to lift the chest a little. Come onto spidey fingers and then gently walk your right arm underneath your left armpit in any capacity. Maybe the side of your face is gently coming down towards the mat or working its way there. If you want to, you can crawl further away from you with your left fingertips, coming up onto spidey fingers. Just inviting a little gentle twist here into the spine, nothing crazy. If you want a little bit more intensification, you can just start to swing the thumb backwards, bend at the elbow, and see if you can catch for something. Maybe that's your t-shirt, maybe you've caught hold onto the right thigh. It really doesn't matter. You're just sending yourself there so that you can try to really roll open through the left shoulder and gently turn through the torso. It's not going to be a huge opening for most of us, so don't worry about that. Gently unwind wherever you got to, come back to neutral, feeding the right arm back to where you got it from, top of the mat. Come back to the center, and then back onto spidey fingers as you lift the chest, feeding your left arm somewhere underneath your right armpit and allowing the head to fall to the side. This, of course, is enough, so if you'd like to stay here, please do. You can take the variations that I offered on the other side. Maybe you've explored some more of your own. If you want to, you can start to reach the arm back, turn the palm so the thumb points down, and then see if you can catch for maybe your thigh, your top. Again, we're looking to open up through the right shoulder by creating a little bit of extra twist here. Using your arm as a bit of leverage. You could even take your left hand and gently encourage your right shoulder to lift. These are all options though, so see how you feel. Gently unwind, unravel. The right hand is going to go back towards the top of the mat for the left hand to follow, and then seek a little bit of neutrality for a moment. Come back into the center. Nice. Gently from here, lower your forearms to the mat, and we're going to roll forward onto Sphinx pose. One of my favorite postures, this. It's just such a lovely way to invite a little bit of opening. So bringing your elbows underneath your shoulders, palms are flat to the mat, gripping the mat with a little bit of intensity, and then just start to imagine you could drag your body through your arms. So keep pressing into the forearms, grip the mat, and have that lift of the drag. At the same time, I like to gently tuck the tailbone. It's not a big tuck. It's not going to tuck a lot, but just a slight bit, just so that there's a little bit more elevation through the spine. Pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. From here, as you inhale, let your drishti rise, let your neck gently have a little bit of extension, a little bit of opening. As you exhale, take it the other way, the drishti kind of waterfalls down, coming chin to chest. Inhale, come back through the center, opening up through the neck. Giving your neck a little bit of space. Exhale, roll down. Nice and slow. No rush. Come back to neutral. From here, inhale, slowly start to turn to the right. Then as you get there, start to send your head back. Imagine water pouring out your right ear. And then gently turn your gaze up towards the ceiling. And then gently looking over your left shoulder. Chuck chin to chest, and imagine you could drag your chin across your left collarbone to come back, looking down, and then inhale back into neutral. Nice. We're going to do that again the other way. So deep inhale. Exhale to turn and look over your left shoulder. This time allow your head to lean back. Imagine the water pouring out of this left ear, and then gaze starts to lift up towards the ceiling as your head turns ever so gently. Then looking over your right shoulder, allowing the water to pour out of that ear, and then gently allow the chin to just caress across the collarbone, back down to this rolled position, and then inhale back to the center. Nice. From here, let both arms go out towards the top of the mat. Coming onto spidey fingers. This time we're going to take a similar twist, but we're going to let the right hand come underneath your left and allow the side of your head to just come down to the mat. This might be enough here. If you'd like a little bit more, you're going to cross your left arm on top of your right and just let your chin come somewhere. And maybe, there's no chin involvement, and maybe you're just looking ahead, or maybe the chin is just going to cup over your left top of your arm. Now this can feel like a lot, so, feel free to modulate. Don't forget to breathe. If you get somewhere where you're just holding your breath, I want you to back off a little bit. These postures are so sneaky in terms of intensity, but I find this one super intense. So if you are struggling to find your breath, then just back off a little. Nothing is worth losing that for. Gently lift the head if it was lowered so that you can slowly unwind. Left fingertips out in front, right fingertips out in front. Lift the gaze a little bit here. Maybe push into the fingertips to lift a bit higher through the chest. And then we're going to switch it up. Left arm through underneath your right armpit. And allow your head to come to the mat. And just gently opening up the upper body here. We're not in a rush. We know that time marches on, but we can be in moment by moment, lingering, without needing to race ahead. If this is good for you, stay here. If you'd like to lift the head, lift the gaze, and cross this time your right arm on top of your left. And notice the difference. So one side might feel a little bit less restricted than the other. One side might feel like it's much more restricted. So, all of those imbalances are just good to be aware of and not to fight too much. Just gently move into a space of stretch, a space where you can explore a line of tension. So for me, I have a really long line of tension from the top of my left shoulder right the way down to my left pinky finger, but not so much on the right. So I'm really looking to explore a place that gives me some sensation on the right, and that possibly is allowing the chin to come down. So have a little bit of movement here, like really small fidgets, so that you can find some tension, because we want to seek out that tension and we want to move into it and try to move through it with our breath. Beautiful. Gently allow your right arm to come back out to release your left. And let's re-find a Sphinx pose just for a moment. Really lifting up. Maybe everything just feels like you've got a bit more space here now. I certainly feel a little bit longer in the upper body, having stretched the arms and the shoulders out. And if it feels okay from here, you could start to bring your left arm across the diagonal and kick your right heel in towards your butt and catch for the right foot. I want you to have your fingers wrapping over the top of the toes and then turning the elbow up towards the ceiling and encouraging a bit of a push down. It doesn't need to be big. Just feeling it out, feeling the stretch on the quads. If you notice that you're dumping into the left shoulder as I just did, then really try and push into your left forearm to come up and out a bit. We're seeking that tension through the right quad, but we don't want to lose any kind of integration in the left shoulder. Gently release here. Bring the right forearm back down. And switching sides. So the right forearm can come across the diagonal. The left heel is going to come into the butt. So as you work backwards here, the hand is going to go towards the top of the foot so that your fingers can wrap around the top of your toes. That then allows you to rotate the shoulder and bring the elbow up and just push a little bit. I mean, if you've got a lot of tightness here, but also a lot of range, you can push quite heavily, but this will feel a lot pretty quickly for some of us. So just modulate as required. We're just starting off slow, just getting into everything. I promise we'll get moving in a moment. I know you lot like a good sweaty vinyasa. Keep pressing into the right forearm. Don't allow the right shoulder to cave. That was just about as much of a cue for me as it was for you. And then gently release. Awesome. From here, allow your hands to come underneath your shoulders, untuck your toes, and pull yourself into upward facing dog. You can have a soft bend through the elbows. And then gently bend the knees and come into a tabletop. So lowering the knees down, having the hands underneath the shoulders. And just take a few circles here. Let's just get a little bit of movement. Everything's been pretty static up until now. And I promised you some movement. So have a little bit of a shake and a sway here. Notice if this feels any different. Usually in a vinyasa practice, we kind of get straight into the wrist warm up, and we've had a little bit of time here to like explore some spaces. So just notice how that is showing up for you in these moments. Make sure to take the circle into lots of different directions. Don't get stuck going in one way or the other. If you want this to turn into a bit of a playful cat-cow, then by all means start to move as feels good. The structure, the container, is the quadruped, the tabletop, but everything that happens within that is totally up to you. It's totally your bag. So feel free to explore some of the edges here. Nice, and then when you're ready, tuck your toes under, lift your hips high, find Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Have a little pedal out here in your downward dog. Notice how your arms are feeling. Mine feel really different from usual, the first down dog, so notice if that's the same for you. From here, inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees deeply, ripple forward into high plank pose, look long, exhale, lower and rise. Drop the knees, send the weight back, drop the forearms. As you pull through on the inhale, come into upward facing dog. Wave it back on the exhale. Downward facing dog. Let's do a couple more of those. Lift the heels, bend the knees. Ripple forward, high plank pose. Look long, exhale, lower and rise. Drop the knees for the lower in the push-up if you'd like. Dropping knees and forearms, pulling into upward facing dog. Waving it back, downward facing dog. Lift the heels, bend the knees, rippling forward into high plank pose. Look long, exhale, lower and rise. Drop knees, push the butt back, drop the forearms, come into upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Awesome stuff. From here, the right leg goes high, 3-leg dog. On the exhale, right foot to right thumb, drop your back knee down. Inhale to rise, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Keep reaching through the fingertips here. Tuck the back toes under. As you exhale, allow that to lift the back knee up, rise into high lunge. Hold the high lunge here for a moment. Take an inhale, really reach up through the fingers, tuck the tail slightly. Exhale, drop the left knee down. Plant the hands outside of the right foot. Tuck the back toes and work to straighten through your right leg. So pulling back into a half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. Drive down through the right heel and plug the right thigh bone back into its socket just to engage through the right leg. Keep breathing here. Imagine your collarbones could go way beyond your toes. So it's not about looking down, it's about finding a bit of length. Gently roll back into having your right foot plant to the mat. Tuck your back toes. Inhale back into Anjaneyasana. Exhale back into high lunge. Come back up. Really engage through the glutes here. Lifting through the fingers. Draw the belly button back. Really engage. Find some connection. From here, hands or no hands, as you exhale, work to straighten through your front leg. Start to send your arms backwards, or they can come to the ground. Find a modified pyramid pose. So you're really leaning over the right leg here. The gaze is out in front. You're going as low as you can. Inhale to rise back up, high lunge. Exhale, hands or no hands, modified pyramid. Inhale to rise, high lunge. Exhale, modified pyramid. You might need to click the back heel in a little bit, or the back toes in a bit. Inhale to rise. Last one here. Exhale, lower the left knee down. Plant the hands. Gently step the right foot back to meet the left, high plank pose. From here, weight into your right hand, stack your left foot on top of your right. Find Vashisthasana on the right here. So stacking both feet, you can have one in front of the other if needs be. Hold here. Imagine you could draw the front ribs towards the top of the hip points. Wrap in the tricep. And then slowly, left hand to the mat, look long. Exhale. Take a vinyasa, take a push-up. Send the weight back, drop the forearms. Inhale through into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Left leg rises. As you inhale, 3-leg dog. As you exhale, left foot to left thumb, drop the right knee. Inhale into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Use this as a moment here to reintegrate. Find what should be your low lunge. So maybe that's going a little bit forward into the left knee. Maybe that's reaching through the fingers. Take a deep inhale. Tuck the back toes if they're not. Exhale to lift. Come into high lunge here. Hold this high lunge. Again, maybe you want to send the left knee a bit further forward, but you're really plugging in to the right big toe. Slowly lower the right knee to the mat. Send the hands to frame the left foot. Exhale, find your Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. You might need to wiggle the left toes forward a little bit like I did there. Plug the left toes back towards your shin. Again, you're trying to get your body up and over your left leg. So it's not about crouching down. It's about having some lift, some elevation. Keep dragging the left heel back under you, really engaging through the back of the left leg here. Inhale, rebend and plant the left foot, tuck the back toes. Exhale, back into high lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, find the position. Keeping the hands lifted, start to send the weight back, start to straighten through the left leg, leaning over the left thigh. Hands or no hands, find a modified pyramid. Inhale, rise back up, high lunge. Exhale, modified pyramid. Allow your drishti to be gentle here. Inhale, bend the left knee, high lunge. Exhale, modified pyramid. Inhale, high lunge. Feel the wobbles. Exhale, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Plant your hands to the mat. Gently step your left foot back to meet your right. From here, weight into your left hand, roll onto the outer blade of your left foot, stacking the right foot on top, finding Vashisthasana. Think about sending the hip points over towards the right side of your mat whilst knitting the low part of your ribs towards the top of your hips. Really pushing through your left hand here. Then slowly, right hand will land, come into high plank, look long, exhale, lower and rise. Drop your knees, push your butt back, drop your forearms, pull through into upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful work. Inhale, the right leg goes high. Exhale, right foot to right thumb, drop your left knee down. Inhale to low lunge. Exhale to high lunge. Inhale, find half moon. Bit of a funky one from high lunge. Try and find Ardha Chandrasana here. If you've got it, turn the inside of your left ankle up towards the ceiling. Nice. From here, we're going to roll into a revolved half lunge, revolved half moon. Parivrita Ardha Chandrasana. Back to half moon. Opening and closing. I keep hitting my plants. Rolling back. Revolving the half moon. Opening up the half moon. And revolving the half moon. Gently bend the right knee, gently let the left toes land. Find archer's lunge, open into the right, bending through the back knee and the front knee. Feeling long here through the fingertips. Your wings are open, your wingspan is taking up as much of the mat as possible. Exhale, gently lower the left knee. See if you can reach back for the left ankle or the left calf and just reach the left arm up and over as the right hand is seeking something on your left leg. Nice. From here, square off. Come into low lunge. Make sure the back toes are tucked here as you exhale, lift back into high lunge. Plant the hands, step the right foot back to meet the left. Roll in onto the outer blade of the right foot, find Vashisthasana. Drive your left knee into your chest. Look to the top of the mat. Gently step your left foot to the top of the mat, drop your right knee down. Find Anjaneyasana as you inhale. Tuck your back toes under, exhale, high lunge. From here, lean forward, find Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Oof, had to catch that one there. Feel the wobbles. Trust your left leg to catch you. Then from here, turn into revolved half moon. Parivrita Ardha Chandrasana. Back to open up into half moon. This is not easy, I'm with you. Back to revolved. You're rolling through the hip here. Back to half moon, opening up. And then revolve, half moon. Gently bend your left knee, stepping your right toes back, right arm reaching forward. You're finding the archer's lunge on the left here. Again, we want to reach through the fingers to open us up. We want to feel like we're taking up as much space as possible on our mat. Inhale here. And as you exhale, really gently lower the right knee to the mat. Left hand seeking for something on your right leg. Right arm reaching up and away. Reversing the low lunge. Inhale back into high lunge, low lunge, traditional low lunge. Exhale back to high lunge. Slowly lower the hands to the mat. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Roll onto the outer blade of the left foot this time, reaching through your right arm. Drive your right knee into your chest. Step your right foot to the top of the mat. Come into low lunge. Anjaneyasana. Plug the back heel underneath you, tuck in the toes. Exhale into high lunge. Inhale, Ardha Chandrasana again on the right leg. Rolling open into the revolved half moon. Feel the instability. Opening up into half moon, traditional. Closing off, twisting, revolved half moon. Opening up, Ardha Chandrasana, you might need to touch the floor, and then rolling into revolved half moon. Gently bend your left knee, gently step your left toes back. Bend your right knee, I should have said, archer's lunge. Maybe you turn to the top of the mat and then sit deeper as you twist back to the right. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale gently, lower the left knee to the mat. This time the right hand is seeking something on the left leg. Maybe it's the left ankle. Reach the left arm up and away to really open you up through the chest. Keep your gaze soft. Exhale back into low lunge. Inhale here, find center. Tuck the back toes if they're not. Exhale to high lunge. Plant the hands to the mat. Step right foot back to meet left. High lunge, high plank pose. Roll onto the outside of the right foot. Come into Vashisthasana. Drive the left knee into the chest. Gently step left foot to the top of the mat. Drop the right knee. Inhale into low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Rise up on the exhale into high lunge. Lean forward, open up into Ardha Chandrasana. Find the position. Gently revolve the half moon. Parivrita Ardha Chandrasana. Open up. Traditional half moon. Feel this movement in your hips. Roll it back down. Right hip dropping. Right hip rising. Open back up. Roll it down. Roll it down. Gently bend your left knee. Gently step right toes back. Right arm reaches forward. Left arm reaches back. Bend the back knee. Archer's lunge. Slowly drop the right knee. Send the left arm back. Let it seek something on the right leg. Reaching the right arm up and away. Feeling nice and open here. Through the front body. Exhale. Back into regular Anjaneyasana. Inhale to lift. Exhale into high lunge. Plant the hands. This time, left foot steps back to meet right, and we vinyasa. Lower and rise, drop knees, send the butt back, drop the forearms. Inhale through to upward facing dog. Exhale, send it back. Downward facing dog. Nice. We're going to do all that again, just at a bit more pace. This time we'll start on the left. Left leg lifts, 3-leg dog. Exhale, left foot to left thumb, drop the right knee. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, high lunge. Inhale, open, half moon. Turn into revolved half moon. Slowly bend the left knee, archer's lunge on the left. Slowly drop the right knee, revolved low lunge. Reaching back. Coming back through to the center. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, high lunge. Drop the hands to the mat. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Roll onto the outer blade of your left foot. Drive your right knee into your chest. Right foot steps to the top of the mat, low lunge. Inhale. Exhale, high lunge. Inhale, half moon. I almost went the wrong way there. Exhale, revolved half moon. Inhale, bend the right knee. Left foot steps back. Archer's lunge. Drop the left knee down. Revolved low lunge. Right arm seeking something on the left leg. Back to center on the exhale. Inhale to low lunge. Exhale. Lift up, high lunge. Hands meet the mat. Step the right foot back to meet the left. Roll onto the outer blade of your right foot. Left knee into the chest. Left foot top of the mat, low lunge. Exhale, high lunge. Inhale, open up, half moon. Revolved half moon. Find your balance. Bend through your left knee, archer's lunge on the left. Drop the right knee, come back into revolved lunge. Inhale sends you back into low lunge. Exhale, high lunge. Hands to the mat, left foot steps back to meet right. Roll onto the outer blade of the left foot. Drive your right knee into the chest. Last time here. Right foot top of the mat, low lunge. Exhale, high lunge. Inhale, open up. Ardha Chandrasana. Revolve, half moon. Gently step back. Archer's lunge on the right. Drop the left knee down. Seek something on the left foot with your right arm. Low revolved lunge. Exhale back into Anjaneyasana. Inhale to lift. Exhale, high lunge. Let the hands come to the mat. Right foot back to meet the left. Lower and rise. Drop your knees. Push your butt back. Drop your forearms. Pull through into upward facing dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Beautiful stuff. Drop your knees to the mat. Find puppy pose. Let your arms reach forward. Maybe they come off the mat. Let the chest sink low. Take a few breaths here. If you want to, kick both feet over to the right, just to get more of a stretch through your left side. You could even walk your hands over to the right to encourage a bit more of a stretch there. Slowly back through to the center. Left hand back to where you got it from. Kick the feet over to the left. Right hand to the left. Feel the stretch. Back to the center. Place your forearms down onto the mat. Come into Sphinx pose. Setting yourself up here, taking a moment to find it. Recalibrate. Settle your energy. From here, reach your right arm forward. Let your left arm go underneath your right. Bring your right knee up towards your right armpit. And then from here, we can open up, keeping your right thigh going over the body. Just coming into this little twist here. Your gaze can go to your right hand if you would like, but it doesn't have to. If you'd like to take your hand onto the back of the head, bending the elbow, we're going to take the elbow over to meet the left elbow and then open all the way. Doing that again, closing off towards the right and then open all the way. Closing off towards the right, or the left I should say, and then open all the way. Last time, close off towards the left. Opening up, releasing the right arm. See if that allows you to move a little bit deeper into the twist now. Slowly start to unfurl. So bring your right arm long, release your right leg down, roll onto your belly. Come back into Sphinx pose just to reset. Coming into the middle, squaring everything off. Then this time your left arm goes long. Your right arm comes underneath your left armpit as you bring your left knee up towards your left armpit. You can stay here for a couple of breaths, or you can come straight into rolling into the twist. Nice, looking over towards the left arm, if that feels nice. Maybe you want to stay here, or maybe you want to clasp the back of the head again with the hand bending the left elbow, and this time rolling towards the left. And opening up. Rolling. Closing in and opening up. Just encouraging a little bit more twist in the spine, a little bit more fluidity. Last one here, close it off and then open it up, release the arm. Notice if that allows you to just twist any deeper here, across towards the right. Gently unravel, come all the way back so that your left hand goes long, send your left knee back, come back into Sphinx pose, plant your hands into the mat, push into the hands, maybe you work towards straightening them, they don't need to straighten all the way but you're just working towards that. Lift through the chest, squeeze the glutes, and then gently lower down. From here, you can just roll onto your back. You might need to move yourself into the middle of your mat if you've gone wayward. And then from here, we'll find a happy baby. So drive your knees in towards your chest. Catch hold of the outside of the feet. And then draw your thighs down in towards your armpits. Ananda Balasana, blissful baby. Feel free to rock here if that's calling you. It's sometimes nice in this posture. And whenever you're ready, find your Shavasana. Let your legs go long. Palms turning up towards the ceiling or the sky if that feels good. Soften your gaze or completely close the eyes. As always, I won't stay with you for Shavasana Yogi, but I encourage you to give this Shavasana as much of your time as you can. Just allow the body to come back down to you. As always, it's an absolute privilege to practice with you until we meet on the mat again. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you.